Welcome to Old School Chemistry. Today we're going to do the ALEK's topic, naming binary ionic compounds. Here are the two fundamental rules in naming ionic binary compounds. First, you say the metal's name, and second, you're going to change the ending of the nonmetal to IDE. Let's take a look at this first example. We're going to have a sodium ion. That means that it has lost the electron, becomes a positive charge. And listen to how I say this. Iodide ion. Now when you have a nonmetal, so for example iodine, and it becomes an ion, it gets a charge, so this accepts the electron, becomes a charge, you change the ending, I minus, now becomes iodide. So from an iodine to an iodide, I know it's a little tiny nuance, but it becomes an iodide. Let's do the naming and then we'll write the empirical formula. So the name, super straightforward. You simply say the metal, sodium. These are two separate words, so there's a space. And then you say the nonmetal and change that ending to IDE. So this, instead of being iodine, becomes iodide. Great. And a little reminder, we do not give numbers of atoms on this. I wouldn't say mono. I just say sodium iodide. Now, to write the chemical formula, I have a trick for you. When ionic compounds are formed, the ions come together, they will always form a net neutral compound. So there's no charge, okay? I have a trick for you. To figure out how many atoms you need of the positive cation and the negative anion, I want you to take just the number on the charge, okay? I'll do this in a different color. And you cross that number down to the opposite atom. It will always balance the charges for you so that the compound is a net zero charge. So I cross down these charges. It's a 1 and a 1. Now you and I know that when we're writing chemical formulas, if there's one atom, you can leave it off. It's inferred, understood to be a 1. So this becomes NaI, just like that. NaI. Nice. Let's do the rest of these quickly. I'll leave that one up there. So we have a sodium with the bromide ion. Cross down, it's a 1 and a 1. Cross down those charges. NaBr. That's going to be sodium. Remember the bromine goes to bromide because it's the nonmetal, bromide. And then you're going to see the pattern here. I've got a 1 plus and a 1 minus on my chlorine and my sodium. Cross down charges, we get NaCl, and you know what this one is table salt. Sodium chloride. Wonderful. And then we're going to take that 1 plus on the sodium, 1 minus on the fluorine, cross those down, NaF. And you say it before I say it. I'll start writing, you say it. Sodium fluoride. Nice. Always watch your spelling. Be really careful with your spelling. I do want to hit explanation just to show you one more quickly. More practice. Okay, fantastic. Love this one because we have different charges. Okay, calcium, and then listen to this, is not phosphorus, it's an ion, so we change that ending to phosphide. All right, calcium, Ca2 plus. Our phosphide is a 3 minus. Let's write the chemical formula, or excuse me, the chemical name, calcium, and then phosphorus becomes phosphide. Again, be careful on your spelling with that. Okay, let's cross down charges. The 2 is going to cross down and become the subscript for the phosphorus, and the 3 is going to cross down and become the subscript for the calcium. So here's your chemical formula. Ca3P2. Now, just for the sake of argument, let's check charges. Calcium is a 2 plus. So I'm going to do my plus 2 times 3 of those, plus phosphorus is the 3 minus, times 2 of those. Look at that. We have a positive 6, a negative 6, which is a net zero charge. This trick will always work so that you get that net zero charge. Let's do the rest of these quickly just so that you have them. Ooh, I like this one. Take a look at this. We're going to have a calcium ion with a sulfide ion. So sulfur, sulfide ion. I'm going to cross down the charges. Oh, kind of exciting and interesting. We get Ca2S2. Now you can only do this with ionic compounds. If there is a common factor, you reduce. 2 goes into 2 once, 2 goes into 2 twice. The final chemical formula, CaS, CaS. And the name, help me name this. Say the metal's name, calcium. And then the sulfur changes to what again? Sulfide, from sulfur to sulfide. Very good. Let's do another one. We're going to have our calcium 2 plus and nitride. So nitrogen becoming an ion, nitride. We'll cross down our charges, cross down that 2, cross down that 3, and we end up with a Ca3N2. Beautiful, what a pretty compound. And then name this with me. Let's do Ca2N3. Say the metal's name, calcium, and then again the nitrogen changes to nitride, nitride right there. Okay, one more. We're going to take our calcium ion and an oxide ion. Oxygen, just gain those 2 electrons. Okay, look at this closely. I want you to think really hard on this. Cross down the 2, cross down the 2. We're going to get Ca2O. Notice those can be reduced. 2 goes into 2 once. So our final chemical formula, CaO. And the name, put it all together, say the metal's name, calcium, and the nonmetal oxide, calcium oxide. Now notice on this one where we had the 2 and the 3, or up here I had the 3 and the 2, like that. I don't say any numbers. I don't say di or tri. It's understood that you know enough about chemistry that you can determine charges and combine those so that you have a net neutral charge on your compound. On ionic compounds, we're not going to give the subscripts. We don't tell the reader the number of atoms. Okay, well done. So proud of you. If you haven't already, please like and subscribe. I'll see you next time.